Hi again, everybody. I'm Chief Meteorologist Andy McRae with episode 2 of Getting to Know. This time around, getting to know Joe Moreno specifically. If you know anything about running in the Quad Cities, if you've done some races in the Quad Cities, chances are very high you've seen Joe. He's a real familiar face. We have him on television fairly often as well. So now we get to have a little more of an extended conversation. Joe, thanks for coming on today. We appreciate your time.
Thanks, Andy. I'm honored to be here.
All right, so this is pretty cool. I thought this would be a good time for it because the Firecracker Run is coming up, one of the biggest races in the Quad Cities and one that you've been helping out with for a very long time now. Tell us a little bit about the Firecracker Run.
Yeah, Andy, I've been with it for like 35 years. It's a cool thing. It's a community event. The fact that it's on a holiday really helps us. I mean, that's a given where Thanksgiving's runs, Independence Day runs, they're very popular in their own right.
Yeah, it's been around for a long time. You said you've been a part of it for 35 years. How many years for the race itself? Is
44.
it 40 plus now?
Yeah.
And I think I'd have to check with Patty from here at our Quad Cities News. We might have been a sponsor for almost every single one of those years. I know it goes way back.
Yeah, I think so, Andy, and especially the 35 that I've been involved with, you've always been there. Always.
Yeah.
Channel 4's always been our station.
Yeah, we really try to do as much as we can for the community, and that includes having you on as a guest, just trying to get more and more people to sign up for the Firecracker Run. We'll talk about some of your other races here shortly too, but the Firecracker Run, really a holiday staple or tradition in East Moline. 5K, 10K, and those are the choices. Well, and I guess for kids, they have a little bit of a shorter race too.
Yeah, there's a 1 mile, there's a kiddie run, and don't forget the ORA hospital bed races.
I knew exactly where you were going with that.
Yeah.
What a blast. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it again this year. All right, well, if somebody's still thinking about signing up, this is not one of those where there's some deadline that cuts off a week before, whatever. You can sign up even, the night before or the morning of?
Morning of. I discourage that. It's so crazy anyway on race morning. But yeah, right up until the night before, you can stop in 2 to 6 at our packet pickup and register there, pick up your packet, and go home, get some nice rest, and be ready for the race in the morning.
Yeah, it is a blast in the morning. It's another spot. There's some music along the way. I feel like there's a lot of people cheering you on, too. So East Moline does a great job with the Firecracker Run.
Yeah, I think so. And I mean, I'm biased, of course. My heart and soul is in East Moline, but I just love our community. I love that race. That's what started it all for me, Andy, was the Firecracker Run.
Okay, wow, that's awesome. And yeah, now obviously, again, you're involved with other races. We'll talk about those here in just a little bit. All right, so the hospital bed races, always fun to see. Tell us a little bit more about that. It's basically what it sounds like.
Yeah. So it's 2 beds side by side. Each bed has a team of 5 individuals. 4 of those individuals are at the corners of the bed, and they have to maintain possession of their corner at all times for safety. There's the 5th individual is in the bed wearing a helmet, and the gun goes off.
For good reason, just to be safe.
And we don't care what kind of helmet. Sometimes they wear a football helmet or a hockey helmet or a bicycle helmet, whatever, but it's got to be a helmet. And the gun goes off. The 2 beds go down the street about half a block. They turn around a cone. They're going as fast as they can, and they turn around and they come back to where they started. There's a square on the street where the bed started, and that bed has to stop within the confines of that square. The individual in the bed jumps out, does an obstacle course, while the teammates are still waiting for that person to do the obstacle course as fast as they can, come back, jump in the bed, literally jump in the bed, and then they fly out and back again. It's so fun.
It is great to see. Looking forward to that. It's just a good way to start the holiday. I mentioned how the people of East Moline really come out and cheer everybody on. But obviously, and well, this year it's going to be bigger than ever. 250th anniversary for the United States. And seeing those big, huge American flags along the way and hanging up, it's just a good way to start the holiday.
It is. And I mean, we're honored to kick it off that weekend. There's so many festivities going on throughout the Quad Cities, and a lot of parties, a lot of fireworks, parades. But for us to kick it off, it's quite the honor.
I know, and there will be literally hundreds of people, probably, I'm guessing anyway, that do the race in the morning, and I'll be one of these people, and then ends up, maybe just going to the John Deere Classic, and I think that's Carrie Underwood that night.
Yeah.
I mean, you talk about just a great All-American Quad Cities Day. And again, the Firecracker Run really is the best way to start it off. So looking forward to that. Let's just talk just about East Moline for a little bit, because not only is it the Firecracker Run, but East Moline does it up very nicely for the 4th of July. And there's plenty of stuff to do even if you just stay in East Moline all day long. We still have the parade going on.
Yeah, the parade's on at 1 p.m. that afternoon. You mentioned the John Deere Classic. That's quite the event itself. But also, I want to mention too, Andy, that as race participants and volunteers for the Firecracker Run, you're eligible to go to the John Deere Classic at no cost. Either day, either Thursday or Friday, not Saturday or Sunday, but Thursday or Friday. So go check that out. Enjoy that perk there. But yeah, back to East Moline. I mean, Silvis says the golf tournament. We've got the Firecracker Run, the parade that afternoon, the fireworks that night, and they're big fireworks. They're going to be at the Rock Island County Fairgrounds up there on the Avenue of the Cities. So it's going to be huge.
Yeah, really can't wait for it again. So I'll be out making a couple of the announcements with you up on that riser, or whatever that lift is called. And then, yeah, I'm going to run the race too this year. Feel pretty good about it. Haven't been running a ton lately, but I've been running enough so I can do the 5K. These times, though, we get some really good runners at some of these races here around the Quad Cities, including the Firecracker Run. What do you think will be the winning time this year? Is it something as low as like 15 or 16 minutes?
It is. It is.
Impressive.
Yeah. And I was hoping my granddaughter would come back. She's won it the last 2 years, but she's down in Texas. No, she's down in Texas, and yeah, that's okay. She's doing her thing. She's running down there, but no, we've got some fast times in the 5K just because it's flat and fast. Like that. Yeah, and Andy, I don't know how many times over the years I've heard you say this. Well, you haven't been training. We're gracious. You're gracious enough to come and do the MCing for us. We appreciate you very much. And then you jump down when the race starts, and there you go.
No doubt. I kind of wait for everyone else to clear as I do a little bit of stretching.
Yeah.
I think one time I had something like 24 or 25 minutes for my time, and I felt really good about that. Yeah. It won't be that this year, but, for just kind of a normal everyday, not I mean, I walk. That's my thing. Yeah. I'll go and I still walk about 4 or 5 miles every day, and then I mix in some running.
Yeah.
So, yeah, 32 minutes would be fine with me. And again, it's just fun to be out there. It's a good place to be, a good way to start the 4th of July. And let's talk about a little bit about the health benefits of running and or walking. I mean, obviously you do it a lot. Well, before we get into the health benefits, what's your best 5K time in your life? Do you know it right off the top of your head or not?
No, it was around 18 minutes, 17 something.
Was that at a race here in the Quad Cities?
It was, yes, it was. And I don't remember what race it was. I think that race is no longer in existence because I can't refer to it anymore. But no, I used to be an okay runner back in the day, but I'm going to be 70 this year.
Oh, wow.
And I'm still running 7-something miles, so I'll take that as long as I can.
All right, so you were born in 1956. I just turned 50, so 76. Yeah. So it was easy math for me. But yeah, just real good health benefits. Again, even if it's the walking, that's huge. So yeah, that's like kind of a nice thing to kind of think about as well. All right, so that's the Firecracker Run. We talked about that. Maybe we'll come back to it eventually. Let's talk about a couple of the other races that you're involved with, Quad Cities Marathon, and we're still doing the Freedom Run. That one, here's my Freedom Run story, then you can talk about it next.
Okay.
So that one, not the same flat route as the Firecracker Run. The Freedom Run, you go up that hill, right?
Correct.
One of the times, and that one's, is that still during an evening?
Yeah.
Like what night? Is it a Thursday night?
It's a Thursday night, yeah.
Okay, so one time I was there doing some live shots for the TV station, and I had signed up, I had my bib on and everything, and then I start running, and I'm going up that hill thinking, man, this is not the Firecracker Run. I feel like my back was starting to hurt. I'm like, oh my gosh, am I going to be one of these people that needs medical attention? As soon as I got up to the top of the hill, I was fine. It was kind of nice to you go down the hill right before you end, right?
Yeah. Wherever you go up, you go down.
Yeah. That's the way it works generally. So yeah, the Freedom Run, what month is that one in? Is that August?
That's August. Yeah. And it's always the second Thursday of August, which is August 13th this year. And it used to be the first Thursday, but we didn't want to compete with the Mississippi Valley Fair
Yeah.
going on and all the great entertainment that they provide us.
Yeah, it makes sense. That's a great, you're right. That is a great event for the Quad Cities, no doubt. The lineup looks pretty good again this year.
Hmm.
Yeah, so that's early August. Then we have the Freedom Run. Let's talk numbers here. I guess we'll go back to the Firecracker Run. Obviously, we're going to be up in the thousands of runners. Is it something like 3,000 these
Hmm.
days?
Yep.
All right, so that's good. What was the peak and was like the highest number? And was that before COVID? I feel like for some people,
It,
COVID knocked some stuff out and we're
it
still kind of climbing
yeah,
back.
it did, Andy. I think it was like 34. We scratched the surface at 35, but the good news is every year we seem to be climbing back towards that goal. So uh, that's what we get with the Firecracker Run, and the Freedom Run typically is around 1,000 participants.
And that one's a lot newer, obviously. How many years is it for the Freedom
This
Run?
is our 14th anniversary.
Okay,
Yeah,
so 14 years. Okay.
yeah. It was supposed to be a 1 year deal, but here 14 years
Here
later,
we are.
yeah.
The first year went so well that we need it
Yeah.
back and again and again. Each of these races, do you get a medal, everybody, when they finish?
Yeah, yeah. With the Freedom Run, you get a set of dog tags, and
Oh, that's right.
they're embossed with our logo and the information on the second tag. And we're just honored to have Unity Point Health sponsor that. And they're just as Mercy One sponsors the Firecracker Run, the other local hospital, sponsors that one. So I get the benefits of enjoying like a Coke in one hand and a Pepsi in the other. You get to work with both of them. But
And two great sponsors to have on board, obviously. Sponsors for events like this are hugely important because, when you think about it, okay, so we've got the medals we're talking about, but you got to pay the police officers. I mean, a lot of times they're lining the route. That's not free. So good to have some sponsors. And then obviously the small fee that you pay to run in the race, that goes to help with some of that stuff too. When you're an organizer of some of these races, what are some things that people, might not consider, some of the behind the scenes stuff? Because I assume you have probably some kind of a committee helping you.
yeah, I've got great committees. No, Andy, when you put on a race, you wouldn't believe how many people have come to me and says, "Hey, can you help us put on a race?" And they just think it's easy money. They think it's real simple. Just put a committee and let's do this. But when they realize and especially in the last few years, insurance has gone up sky high to put on an event like this, especially when you have alcohol like we do. We have beer, a lot of beer at all of our races. The cost of T-shirts and the medals and the awards and the securing the courses and the perks. If for us, it's anniversary years. We tend to up the ante a little bit and have some more return on investment for our race participants on the anniversary years. So there goes a lot of money right there. And in the end, and I'm a firm believer of this, and you've seen this before, Andy. There's a lot of races where locally even it's a great race, it's well organized, but you don't know what the proceeds go to, and who or what is that benefiting. And I'm a firm believer that every race should have a good cause, a good beneficiary, as we do.
Yeah, no kidding. And then so you've got the committee. Obviously, you listed some of the expenses, and a lot of these events like this, not just races, but just really all kinds of different fundraisers around the Quad Cities. Without a bunch of volunteers, they'd be almost impossible to pull off as well. So I assume you guys have a bunch of, good volunteers, probably a
We
bunch
do.
of them come back year after year.
Yes, yeah, we're very blessed there in that area, and a lot of times, you're looking for volunteers. You don't see us putting that out there in the public very often, looking for volunteers, because they seem to be coming back. And if you treat them well and with respect and appreciation, I think they come back. They enjoy doing this.
Yeah, good way to, not treat the volunteers especially, and just generally people. That's a good sign. So that's nice. All right, I think I got the symbol from Gabe, our producer. We can go ahead and take a break now. When we come back, we're going to talk some about the Quad Cities Marathon. Haven't touched on that a little bit. We're also going to talk about the old days when Joe was the mayor of East Moline. We'll see what he has to say about that. We'll find some more stuff to talk about too as we are getting to know Joe Moreno, and we'll keep doing that here in just a couple of minutes. And we are back, and I'm going to steal Gabe, our producer's question, right out of the gate here. He's wondering, how did you get into running? How long ago was it? And it really is a family thing for you, too.
It is. It is. Well, I got into running when I was in high school. I wrestled, and you had to run, and nobody liked running when you're a wrestler. But
Where was that high school? Was it here?
at United Township High
UT.
School?
Wow. Okay. Good for you.
Yeah. So went to UT and I ran a little bit, but it wasn't until I was getting in a little bit of trouble at school, at home, in the neighborhood. I even, Andy, most people don't know this, I even dropped out of high school and
Mm.
my junior year. And I went back a year later and graduated a year later in my wife's class. She claims I did that on purpose to be with her more. But uh, while I was,
Your love language is dropping out of
I
school
know,
for a year so you can graduate at the same time.
yeah.
Impressive.
But while I was in trouble, and there was an organization called the Youth Service Bureau, and they help troubled teens. And these two guys came to my door, and they said, "You're coming with us." And they took me. They mentored me. They happened to be runners, and little by little, they'd take me to races, and I got involved with running and racing, and that was the start of it right there. But I really enjoyed it. It's been a huge part of my life, my family, my grandchildren. Everybody loves to run in our family. Speaking of family, my wife is burned out. Even though I've been doing this for 35 years, she doesn't want any part of the races anymore. I mean, you couldn't walk in our house back in the old days because there would just be packets, thousands of packets all over, complete strangers in our house doing packet preparations, and those were the days. Fortunately, we have a great race headquarters and facility downtown East Moline.
Even that packet, getting those ready. That's another thing.
Oh
When you
yeah,
just run these races, you don't think about it. That
no,
stuff doesn't magically appear in those
it's
envelopes
a
that you
lot of
pick
work.
up.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, Gabe, I've got to give you credit. That was a great question. Nicely done, Gabe. Okay, so all right, real quick question. When you were wrestling back in high school, 125, what,
No,
150, even
oh,
smaller, 98? What
no,
was
no.
it?
I think it was the weights then were 112 and 118, and then 126.
Okay.
I think I was 112 and maybe 118,
Okay, yeah,
but
yeah.
I enjoyed it. I was pretty good. It was
That's
just,
another one, kind of like running. I feel like that's a sport, well, especially when it comes to making weight, a lot of discipline,
yeah,
a lot of discipline there. So yeah, I'm sure that carried over eventually,
yeah.
ultimately, really through your life. Okay, so you said you have a lot of family members running. That's pretty cool. What about this? If you had to guess, like any particular, actually for your life, I'm gonna say 500,000 miles. If you had any idea how many
Oh,
miles you've done your whole life, and that, okay, that's probably a bit much. My most active year, I hit like 2,100 miles in one year because I was doing like, so 500,000, that was a silly number, but
but
I hit like 2,100 because I was going 5 or 6 miles literally every single day, mostly walking.
yeah.
But what's the most you've ever done in a year? Any guess?
Oh gosh, I don't know. I mean,
Because you do some long distance stuff
yeah,
too.
yeah, and I don't anymore. I run three times a week now, and it's short distance, and
Okay.
anywhere from 3 to 6 miles,
Okay.
3 times a week, and that's enough for me. And then the reason why, Andy, is uh, back when I turned 60, 10 years ago, I learned how to swim so I could do triathlons. And that opened it up for me. I got into biking. I'm swimming
That's
a few
great.
times a week. I bike a few times a week, and I run a few times a week. And I wish I would have started that much sooner in life, the combination of those. But up until that point, my whole life's been running, running, running. But I can't even imagine how many miles I've run over the years, Andy.
Yeah, it's yeah, way up there. Easily, obviously, in the tens of thousands for sure.
Yeah.
Triathlon, that's great though. And plus what you said, the biking and the swimming, easier on the joints. Have your knees held up? Have you ever had to have any surgeries or
Yeah,
anything?
I've had some knee prodding and my meniscus, and I have arthritis. But you just keep going. I'm going to go as long as I can until I can't no more. But I've been fortunate. No knee replacement.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah. So I think what's helped, like I say, in these last 10 years is the multi sport angle
Yeah.
where that's taking some of the pressure off the knees.
How serious are you, like stretching and doing a little bit of weight training? Do you mix all that in? I feel like everybody says that helps too.
I do. You'd be surprised. I lift a little weights. I'm into reps, not
Yeah, say yeah.
large weights, but that seems to help my running. And I always wondered how is that going to help your upper body strength going to help your legs? But it really does.
Good
It really
tip.
does.
Okay, so Quad Cities Marathon, let's talk about that. That comes up a little bit later in the year. So the three that you're heavily involved with, that would be the last one. And that's been going strong for a long time now. Give us the distances there. What do we have? Is it a 10K, a half marathon, and a marathon? Is there a 5K on that one or
Yep.
not? There is a
Yep. There's
5K there too?
the 5K, the 10K, the 5-person relay, the half marathon, the marathon, and then the kids races.
And I feel like that's another strong event for the Quad Cities. That has, if you add all of those different distances up, you probably is it's a couple thousand, or how many people end up
Yeah,
going that day?
it's about 4,000 runners.
Okay,
We've
nice.
gotten 4,500 before, and
Is that on a Sunday? Is that one on a
yeah, it's always
Sunday?
on a Sunday. Most marathons in the United States are on Sundays due to the traffic counts.
Okay.
That's the reason. I know the churches don't like it, but boy, if you can partner with churches along the route and get them enthused to get involved, that helps a little.
Yeah, no kidding. All right, so that's big, obviously, in September here in the Quad Cities. How many marathons have you done in your life?
I've done probably 225 half marathons. I've done 30 marathons, most of them in the United States, one in Europe, one in South America.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
My average is 3:30 for the marathons.
Okay, that's impressive.
Um, yeah, you know, this is our 29th anniversary this year, Andy, for the TBK Quad Cities Marathon. Next year's my last year as the race director.
You're gonna go
So
30 year.
yeah, 30 and
And
out.
TBK Bank, I mean, that's another great sponsor.
Oh
Again, you got
gosh,
you're partnered up with some great places from here in the Quad Cities, so that's good.
yes.
I did the half marathon here once. That was many years ago. I did a couple triathlons too. Have you ever? I don't know if they. I think they still have it. Have you ever done the one up by Galena?
No,
That
but
thing is not easy and it
no.
is hilly. And I actually did that. That was also probably 20 years ago or something like that. But I still feel proud about that.
That is a hilly one. I
Yeah,
don't.
that was not. And plus, the bike I was on, it was a full-on mountain bike, which made it that much more
Yeah.
difficult. I had a friend from Ohio in town. He did it. He beat me by like 45 minutes or whatever. But we're like riding kind of still together, and that's early in the season, so you need a wetsuit, right, for that swim, like because
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
it's cold. But we were, yeah, I remember we're riding, on these hills up around Galena. I like snakes, so if I saw a snake on the side of the road and I was like, "You go on," I like jumped off and caught the snake. I was just happy I finished that one. But yeah, that's a good one, not an easy one for sure. Okay, so we probably just have a couple minutes left here. 5K and 10K, so it's 3.1 or it's 6.2 miles. We do that just because that's what we do when it comes to running. Why don't we do 3 miles or 6 miles?
I don't know. I mean, that's a good question. We got to stay with the trends. I mean, we don't want to
Right.
buck the system and make it a 3 mile or a 6 mile. We've got to, because most people they measure themselves. Well, I did a 5K in that time, so we're going to provide a 5K here.
And the only, I also want to mention, there was a time, it was the Run the Rock, the one on the Arsenal for
Yeah,
Armed Forces Day. I can't remember if you were there or not, but
I
it was
was.
that course was not 3.1. Everyone
Yeah,
clocked it at like 3.3.
yeah,
And that was terrible as like you're finishing or whatever. And again, my time, it didn't really matter
yeah.
anyway. But I'm because I think everyone's probably tracking it on their
Oh
phone or on
gosh,
their
yeah,
watch or whatever. So that was a total bummer. But I specifically remember, and I've done it multiple times since then. They've changed the route a couple of times,
yeah,
and now it comes in at the proper 3.1.
yeah, yeah.
So what about like high school, like cross country around here? Do they do a 5K in high school? Is that what they
No,
run, or how
they
far are they running? Any idea?
the girls run 2 miles, I believe, and the boys are a 3 mile, I think.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right, that's interesting. But yeah, so were you running that back at UT
I
also?
did. I ran cross country. Yeah.
Okay, so last thing here, how was it being the mayor of East Moline? And I know it's been a little while now. I mean, how
It's
many years
been
ago was that?
it's been 21 years. Yeah.
All right, so I've been here. I'll hit my 24th anniversary at Channel 4, Local 4, our Quad Cities News. What are we calling ourselves again these days? No, our Quad Cities News. So almost 24 years. So yeah, you were mayor kind of
Yeah.
early in my time
Yeah.
here. Did you like it?
I loved it. Yeah, it
How many
was nice.
years was it one term or more than
It
one?
was it was one. I served 16 years on the city council,
All right.
12 as alderman, and the last four as mayor.
Okay, so you knew, yeah, you knew what you were getting into. But
Yeah.
again, that had to be pretty cool. Last week, I did this show with Redrick Terry, our news anchor here. He is a very proud Rock Island resident. He went to Rocky, and I asked him, I said, all right, so are you going to be mayor of Rock Island in 2040 or the year 2050? He said no politics for him, but we'll wait and see, because I think he'd actually do a good job of it. All right, so those days obviously long gone, but you did enjoy serving your city that way.
I did. It was an honor.
Okay, all right. We're just about out of time. Give us the dates real quick. You can still sign up for all 3 of these races, including the Firecracker Run. Give us those dates one more time.
So Firecracker, July 4th, register at firecrackerrun.com. Freedom Run, Thursday, August 13th. You can sign up at freedomrun5k.org. And then the last one is Sunday, September 27th. And that's the Quad Cities Marathon, TBK Quad Cities Marathon. Registration is qcmarathon.org.
All right, 3 great races, 3 of the top races here in the Quad Cities. Joe, we appreciate your time as we again continue to work out the kinks on this brand new show. It's been fun getting to know Joe. We appreciate your time. Thanks for coming in.
Thank you, Andy.